Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be reading and analyzing an article from the South China Morning Post on how China is set to build a giant chip factory using a particle accelerator. And so, as we know on this channel, China is trying to innovate to try to find ways around the various Western sanctions on its economy. And so it seems like China is exploring new avenues to bypass restrictions on lithography machines, which are used in the production of microchips, using particle accelerators to create a novel laser source. Researchers are laying the foundation for the future semiconductor fabrication. Okay, so there's a team from, and I never know how to pronounce this university's name, but Tsinghua University is in active discussions with authorities in Zhejiang new area to select a construction site for the cutting edge project. By the way, I really need to learn at least enough Mandarin so that I can pronounce words correctly, because I talk about China topics enough that I need to know just pronunciations, because I'm sure I'm completely mangling the pronunciations of these. I'm gonna have to ask someone like Carl Zah or something to help me out there, just learn just at least pronunciations. Contrary to commercial players such as ASML, which favors reducing the size of chip-making machines for export, the Chinese project aims to localize manufacturing by building a colossal factory housing multiple lithography machines around a single accelerator. This makes so much sense when you think about it, because if ASML is focusing on selling their product of these chip-making machines, and China is not focused on selling their product of chip-making machines, they're actually just focused on having it be in-house for their own domestic consumption, their own domestic use to make chips, then it makes complete sense that if you're not trying to ship it out, just make it as big as you want to make it, as big as you have to make it in order to actually produce the chips you need. And so this is really interesting to see how China's innovating on this front. So this innovation can foster high volume, low cost chip manufacturing and potentially propel China into a leadership role in the industrial production of advanced chips known as 2-nanometer chips and beyond. Okay, so I think, if I remember correctly, 7-nanometer chips is like the third generation back, and then it's like 2-nanometer chips, and then I think there's like one generation kind of ahead of the 2-nanometer chips. And so really, China broke that barrier of mass production of 7-nanometer chips, and that means they're only a couple generations behind the absolute cutting edge. And this type of innovation that we're talking about in this article will put them on the cutting edge with mass production of the smallest chips possible, or currently possible smallest chips. Okay, so we see a key US-China science cooperation deal is about to end. Lithography machines are among the most sophisticated piece of machinery ever created by humans, currently extreme. Okay, we could skip below that. 7-nanometer nodes and below are widely used. ASML is the only company that owns the technology and therefore dominates the market. Okay, so in 2022, ASML delivered 180 EUV systems. There's multiple different types of semiconductor systems here. It also plans to ship 60 EUVs this year, according to a Bloomberg report published. Okay, so that's interesting. So it's shipping far fewer this year compared to last year. Maybe that's because of the sanctions on China, and China was buying a lot before. While there are many researchers chasing the technology. Oh, I should mention, ASML is not an American company. It's like from the Netherlands. And so the fact that America can tell ASML to not sell its product to China is really ridiculous. While there are many researchers chasing technology, Chinese scientists have been exploring a different path. It is a project that's been running since 2017. But due to Huawei's breakthrough in chip manufacturing, it has recently catapulted into public view, a weekly curated roundup. Okay, so we can skip this. One of the potential applications of our research is as a light source for future EUV lithography machines. Okay, we could skip. Theory behind the team's research: new luminescent mechanism called steady state microbunching. Okay. Oh, actually, this was by a Chinese professor working at Stanford. His student Daniel Ratner also helped with that. Okay. We could skip some of the technical aspects of this. Let's see what else is worth going over here. Okay, so compared with current ASML EUV technology, SSMB is a more ideal light source. Okay, so it's better in that regards compared to the ASML model. It has a higher average power and higher chip production output with lower unit cost. Okay, so average power consumption is higher, which is not good, but higher chip production is better, and it has a lower cost, which is obviously better as well. So really, China is winning here with this new innovative strategy. And this really should put to bed the notion that China can't innovate, because this is obviously a very innovative technique that was not only created, but made production quality by China and Chinese scientists. Okay. We could skip all of this. Just technical aspects. If you're really interested, I have some friends interested in materials science, engineering types of things. You can always go back and look at the more technical aspects. But for the sake of this, we are trying to convey this information to a wider audience. Okay. Okay, so in February this year, the Hebei Provincial Science and Technology Department held a special meeting in Zhejiang to discuss how to cultivate technology companies in the new district. Pan showed up to the meeting, further showcasing the team efforts to bring SSMB to industry practice. So they're really going out of their way to make sure that this technology is successful and that they're able to outcompete the West when it comes to semiconductors. And I've been saying that China needs to do this for over a decade now. I've been saying this since the very early 2010s. At the meeting, Pan introduced the plan to Tsinghua SMB EUV project. Okay. The establishment of a chip factory relies on funds and other engineering details, but more importantly, new ideas might bring new technical routes. With no project progress disclosed to the public, Tang expected further efforts from the team and the industry to help SSMB grow. All right, what else do we have? As a completely new light source, now we can skip that. Okay, so they're not talking about the progress being made on this new lithography machines. Hopefully it's very rapid progress, because I would like to see China mass produce 2 nanometers and lower chips as soon as possible, because that would help the market. I do want to build kind of some backup computers for my main content creation PC, and having things like CPUs and GPUs be cheaper would certainly help with that. Okay, so they're talking about technological innovations and how this SSMB is extremely helpful and can help provide new tools for frontier research in material science, basic physics, biochemistry, and other disciplines. Okay, so the main gist of this really is that China is innovating just across the board. They're learning how to do so many different things, from creating new operating systems to creating smaller and smaller semiconductor chips using traditional technologies, to creating new technologies to make sure that they're not dependent on places like ASML, to whatever you want to call it. China is figuring out various ways to innovate. And really the takeaway from this reading of this article should be that China is an innovative nation. And sure, early on, it may have had to copy some things in order to get to the current point, the modern contemporary modernization of their technological innovations of their society. But yeah, they had to do that to get to that point as quickly as possible. But now that they are at the cutting edge, they are innovating as much as possible, and they are capable of the same innovation that the Western world is capable of. I know there's been this racist belief that China is not capable of innovation, but hopefully these recent innovations should tell you that yes, they are absolutely capable of innovation, and they are out innovating the West in what seems to be every way that matters, because semiconductor chips is one of the most important technologies of the 21st century, and the fact that they are outcompeting the West in terms of innovation should tell you something there. So that's what I'll leave you with. Thank you for watching. Please give us a thumbs up. It helps us in the algorithm. Please subscribe to our channel on both YouTube and Rumble. Please leave us a comment in the comment box below with any questions, concerns, critiques you have, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.